Good afternoon and good evening to all of my Storm fans out there. It's me, your captain speaking. 'Tis the season to storm. I will be with you in just one moment as I let everybody know that this stream is happening right now. Hello everybody and welcome back. It's Thursday night, which means that we are going to stream. My name is Jordan, and if you don't know it already, we're going to be playing the Epic Storm. This is the poll winner today, narrowly beating out Vintage Cube, and we're just going to take the Eternal Weekend top 8 list that Bryant Cook piloted to a top finish. And run it straight back. We're going to just make sure that this list still has legs and is what we would recommend for another competitive event. Now, just to quickly go over some of the strengths of this deck, we are a Dark Ritual based combo deck using Beseech the Mirror and Gaea's Will or Song of Creation to combo off. We also have Burning Wish and Galvanic Relay, and these three pillars, Burning Wish, Galvanic Relay, Beseech the Mirror, just kind of mixed together to form a beautiful, well-oiled machine, all held together by Artifact Mana, our Cantrip Cartel, Veil of Summer, Thoughtseize, and a lovely, well-thought-out dual land mana base. There we go. Those are the words. And you know what? For the first time, I am not queued up in a league yet. So I am going to actually have to queue up for a Legacy League. It's been a little while since I've not done that. Here we go. And we're queued up, and we're going to get straight into things. Jason, it's good to see you in chat. Absolutely. Another week and more Storm action indeed. This deck is something that we can't put down. We love it to pieces. We're going to be storming the halls. I've got a Christmas shirt on, and we're just going to be celebrating the holidays by the best way that I know how, and that's going to be storming. So we're going to queue up for this. And in the meantime, while we get queued up, let me tell you about one of our awesome sponsors, Card Hoarder.
With Card Hoarder, renting your favorite combo deck has never been easier. There isn't a more affordable solution for Magic Online. Want to play the deck in this video? Check out the pinned comment below to easily rent the deck from Card Hoarder. Did you know you can rent the Epic Storm from Card Hoarder for as little as 7 tickets a week? We've made it simple to do so by including a button to rent the entire deck at theepicstorm.com/decklist.
Alrighty, so here we go. We are still queuing up for our round 1 opponent. And, you know, Jason, don't you worry about it. You can stay as long as possible, but I understand, you know, life takes precedent. And here we go for our round 1 opponent against Geodude Jared. I've played them again quite a few times. They're great. Your Islanders jersey came in the mail today. Finally done with college for the semester. Congratulations. That seems great. Jonathan, thank you. I appreciate it. I won the die roll. So let's start off, and I'm going to keep this hand. Island Ponder keep, right? Actually, no. The Galvanic Relays are going to be pretty good here, I believe. So let's do that. Let's keep this. We're going to ponder on turn 1, try to find our second land drop, and then kind of chain these relays into each other. At least that's the goal. So that is initially what we're going to be doing, but we have the power to pivot. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to fetch I have the power to get a volcanic island here. I'm going to get an underground sea because I'm going to need to get another land to cast these galvanic relays anyway. And if for some reason, oh, okay, there we go. I'm going to bottom the volcanic island, and then there's the lotus petal and a misty rainforest. I'm going to say no shuffling, and we are all set up to do exactly what we want. And our opponent graciously mulliganed to 6 cards, and we're ready to see what they're doing. A wasteland. Okay, that will work. That's not going to stop me necessarily, but I might wait a turn because I know I have another land on top of my deck, and I think that just waiting 1 extra turn, prolonging this game out just a little bit is going to be just fine. Getting that extra land drop. Well, Song of Creation is amazing because I don't plan on passing the turn when Song of Creation is on the battlefield. I want to win immediately. It is a secondary Beseech target that plays around... Oh, Painter, of course. Okay. No, Goblin Lackey. Oh, I thought that this was one of the engineers. Okay, Lackey. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to brainstorm here. I still have everything available to relay, but now I kind of want to convert. Oh, speaking of Song of Creation. Okay. Let's put a relay back and a Song of Creation back. The primary Beseech target changes quite often. Crazy line. Maybe I should Galv here. You know what, Oliver? I think you're right. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to do exactly that. And I don't know if I want to burn this Dark Ritual. Like, the Lion's Eye Diamond is pretty good. Yeah, I'm going to burn the Dark Ritual. I get that we're not going to have that access to that later on, but I think it's just fine. Normal the Band, welcome. Thank you for your support. That is fantastic. I appreciate your support. That's super, super exciting. Yeah, Travis got it. So, Jason, when the target changes based on the context of the match, if our opponent has something like a Bajuka Bog that they can tutor up with crop rotation or other graveyard hate, then Gaia's Will is obviously not going to be a particularly good card in the situation. Then we can switch to a Song of Creation. If we are reading our opponent for filth, and we know that they are holding a Force of Will on the Gaia's Will so that we can't get it later, then we can go get a Galvanic Relay and essentially negate that piece of counter magic in their hand. So, you know, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It all kinds of depends on what end goal we're building towards and how flexible we need to be. So, yeah. Our Galvanic Relay, by the way, provided us with a land, a Veil of Summer, a Burning Wish, Lion's Eye Diamond, Tendrils of Agony, and a Dark Ritual. I would say pretty okay. Oliver is correct. We can also chain Beseeches together, just have a natural Storm kill, which is amazing. We have 4 Beseeches in the main deck, and then our Tendrils of Agony. So we can have Beseech, 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 Tendrils. Those are all 4 mana spells times 5. That's 20 mana worth of spells for an initial 4 mana, which is just insane. As long as we have the bargainable permanents. Okay, Name Sticker Goblin gives them 4 mana. Newton, yes, it does look like goblins, and it's a battle cry goblin start, not anything else problematic, which is fantastic. So this is not like, this is goblins stompy. Classic goblins with the Rishadan ports and the Aether Vials has kind of gone the way of the Dodo, and they put in a Skirk Prospector. Their hand is not as good as I was afraid of it being. And Michael, greetings. Welcome. You've been playing, okay, Normal the band, been playing TES since Beseech became the norm, have yet to lose when resolving Song of Creation. It'll happen, but it's such an amazing card. I cannot recommend enough just absolutely going to town with a Song of Creation. It's so much fun to resolve in paper as well. Just A+. All right, so I don't know if you guys can count this out yet, but we have a Peer into the Abyss, which is going to be amazing. So hold control, cast the Burning Wish, and sack the Lion's Eye Diamonds for black and red, so I can leave a red mana floating, I suppose. And we're going to get a Peer into the Abyss. Peer targeting myself. And I'll leave a red mana floating because I've got black right here. And we've drawn a bunch of cards. So let's cast all of our spells. And essentially we're just clicking through to the win. Yeah, okay. Our opponent also sees the writing of the wall on the wall, which is fantastic. So yeah, Newton, this is like the lackey version. This is a new version with Name Sticker Goblin. This isn't Moon Stompy, and this isn't like Boros Initiative. This is Goblin Stompy. It's playing nothing but goblins. It plays Goblin Matron and Goblin Lackey and Goblin, not Recruiter, Ringleader, and just wins with Muxus and Battlecry Goblin. So that's pretty fun. Oh, Jason, you played Song in Modern. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, Jock. Resolving a Peer is just also amazing. I don't know if I like resolving Peer or winning through Song of Creation more. I'm drawing a bunch of cards, and I don't know which one gives me more joy. You know, the jury's still out on that one. Legacy FNM tomorrow, Michael, or later this. Oh, well, okay. So yeah, you're in Europe somewhere. I think I remember you telling me about that. Yeah, goblin flavored goblins. Okay, we're gonna sideboard some permanent hate, get rid of our stack interaction. Turns out they're not gonna have Force of Will. Jason, you just play Modern. There's none of that where you live. Oh, that stinks. Okay, well, I get it. It's kind of a... Okay, this is an interesting choice here. I'm going to keep this hand. Obviously, we have the Gaia's Will in hand, and I'll understand that Beseech is not going to be the main line here, but I am a single artifact away from having Metalcraft and being able to echo of Eons, and I have a Ponder to find it and a regular draw step. I'm going to keep this. I don't have any permanent removal for something like a Null Rod or a Trinisphere or a Chalice of the Void, but being able to use both of these Mox Opals as Lotus Petals after finding a 0 with this Ponder, I think it's fine. So, Jason, the Grapeshot in the sideboard is not just a worse Tendrils. We also have a Tendrils in the sideboard. The Grapeshot is against Veil of Summer decks, so that we can win through Veil of Summer. Ooh, that sucks. Okay. That was not amazing, but I still have stuff to do. Let's see. There's a lot of chat, and I'm also trying to resolve this ponder. I'll get to chat in just a second. Echoing Truth is good, but it also comes with no extra land. So I'm going to keep this, and then I can brainstorm, hopefully, to find the next land. And then I can Echoing Truth this Chalice of the Void, and kind of get along our way. All right. Song feels better because there's a bunch of little gifts for each play. Here's all your stuff. Yeah, I do just like the thickness of just like thump. There's the pile of cards that I'm drawing. There's no way in heck that you're going to win this. That's pretty satisfying. So while each individual card pair being drawn, it just like prolongs the enjoyment. That thud of the pile of cards that I'm drawing just hitting the table, amazing. All right, Goblin Lackey, that's fine. Someday you want to see someone with Bowmasters casting Peer on the opponent. You know, that is something that I played on stream. I wasn't able to do it, but it was an opportunity. I did have the opportunity. I just never actually ended up drawing out like that. Okay, we're gonna see a brainstorm. Now this might be monkey blasting. Yep. Oh, Skirk Prospector. It's essentially monkey blasting. It's goblin blasting me. Okay, that's fine. That's unfortunate, but we traded the mana accelerator for our cantrip. If you have the mana, you're going to peer. Oh yeah, it's a lot more deterministic than a song, but still. Harmony Woods, yes, Veil, Enthalia, and Stax Peacher. Yeah, so that's another thing. Yes, Harmony, you made a good point that Grapeshot can kill Stax creatures like Gaddock Teague, Enthalia, and Lavinia, where that is not going to happen with just a Tendrils in the board. So there's the Muxus that they just tutored up with Goblin Matron. I'm going to turn off auto yields. They're going to put in the Muxus. They're going to create a board state that's nigh on unwinnable. Yeah, I'm good. Okay. So we can concede. Just so you know, we're going to concede here, but the Matron is going to go get something else. Maybe a Broadside Bombardiers. Maybe something else. And then they already have one Broadside Bombardiers, and they can just attack for a ridiculous amount of damage, and then their Broadside Bombardiers can sack the Muxus. And it's just no contest. We are losing that game. So, yeah. Michael, yeah, you're Belgium. Okay, that's awesome. The mirrors are an amazing piece of tech. I am so excited about the mirrors. It's been really, really fun playing with them. And I'm really glad that you're enjoying it as well. Peer almost never resolves in paper. They almost always concede. Yes, they do often concede. But every once in a while, I can't keep this. Every once in a while, they're at a high enough level tournament that they're like, I gotta make them play it out. So that was really fun. I got to resolve a peer at Eternal Weekend and watch the life drain from my opponent's eyes and all of the sympathy from the surrounding players, just like watching me count each and every card going into a pile. Oh, I should actually ponder. Oops, that's my bad. Okay. Thoughtseize is actually pretty interesting here. I'm okay with it, and then I can shuffle away the Gaea's Will. Is that true? Maybe not. maybe this is just not good at all. Yeah, I'm going to shuffle this. I only want the one thing. That's fine. Newton, it actually was not the Wheels deck. It was a fairer, like straight up peer into the abyss storm deck that was playing the One Ring, I think. And we also had some Orcish Bowmasters, which was pretty neat. Okay, Beseech the Mirror is potentially good here. Speaking of Monkey Blast, you see match 1, game 1 from Tony on Tuesday. I did not. Did he get Monkey Blasted for a loss? Because that would really suck. I didn't actually watch his stream. What was I doing? It was trivia night. I was going to a trivia night with a friend of mine. It was, it's just like there's a brewery tap room just like a block and a half away from me, which is fantastic. And I just learned that they have trivia night on Tuesdays. And you know how there's like some easy trivia, fun, happy-go-lucky kind of vibe? This was hard. This was very hard. Like who voiced the animated Grinch in the animated Grinch movie? It was, I don't know. I'm sure that some people in chat know, but that was not something that I knew. Okay, so they put in a Muxus, and they got a twin shot sniper, name sticker goblin, and did nothing with the mana because switching phases, and then a goblin lackey. Okay, and then I get to shuffle this. Brainstorm. I'll get a Taiga. Okay. Unfortunately, I am one black source away, or one black source or one bargainable permanent away from beseeching for the win here. But that can be rectified next turn. And what I can do is try to Echoing Truth the Muxus in combat, because I believe that I would be dead otherwise. Okay, normal. His opponent was on 12 post and tapped out. Elvish Spirit guided into crop rotation into Trop Spell Pierce. That's disgusting. That is wild. Very, very wild. Okay. Harmony Woods. Was there a line where you played Lotus Petal, Beseech, sacking, LED, get Gaea as well, and do stuff? So so that's the line that I'm going to run next turn. But I didn't have the requisite 4 mana post Gaia's Will to recast the Beseech the Mirror with a bargainable permanent, right? The Lion's Eye Diamond would be sacked for black, 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 the Lotus Petal for the colorless cost of Beseech the Mirror, and then I don't have a bargainable permanent. Mike Noble, welcome to the chat. Fantastic. Okay, so this is 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I am going to Echoing Truth the Muxus, which really hurts because I have to Echoing Truth the Muxus to survive, but that means that they get to put it back in with their Goblin Lackey, which... Oh. Okay. Never mind. So I have to draw a Dark Ritual, unless they can kill me right now. Which... They get 2 Goblin Lackeys. If one of them is a Matron and then the other one is a... I don't know. Okay, there's the Matron. Then they can get whatever Goblin kills me. Their Twin Shot Sniper is already here. There's a Sling Gang Lieutenant. Okay, I am deceased. That's what they needed to do. So, all right. Lost to goblins. That was a really close one. I had them dead next turn. But that was very, very fast. Oh, Newton, I forgot that they're doing that in live streams. That stinks. Okay. I don't know if that's a setting that I have access to. This is a new thing for me, where ads are being played in the stream. I don't know if that's something that I can turn off or not. If it's just like a sucks to suck, you have to buy YouTube Premium, then that's not something that I can do. But, all right. In the meantime, I am going to tell you about how you can actually support us rather than trying to support YouTube by following the Moxfield link in the video description below and listening to an ad about our awesome sponsor, Moxfield, while we queue up for round number 2 that will hopefully go a little bit better.
Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks.
Alrighty, now we are in round number 2. We got paired up against Prismatic Rich. And Travis McCartney says, yes, that is something you can turn off before you start a stream. Awesome. Travis, I am going to look into that, and then I can like turn back on monetization after it actually is posted publicly. So that might be a really good idea. I'm going to keep this hand. Excellent start. Everything that we need is here, as long as Ponder finds a couple of extra things. If we can convert this Ponder into something nice, then I'll be happy. Oh, no. I wanted an Underground Sea. Okay, well, now it looks like we're playing Delver, which is fine, I suppose. I'm going to shuffle this. Okay, Brainstorm is okay. I really did wish that was an Underground Sea. Just kind of clicked the first land that I saw. That was blue. Bloodstained Mire. Is this the mirror? Gasp. Oh, it might be. No. Okay, so this is likely Scam, Shieldred's Edict, or like Scam or Shadow, probably Scam. Oh, Oliver, you are right on the money. Okay, last challenge was Scam, so that does make sense. Yeah, I think it started a couple of weeks ago, because this happened last week. And they're going to take the Brainstorm. Okay. Well, let's see what happens. Drew the Brainstorm anyway. I'm going to play out a Lotus Petal so that I can play around days anyway. So, without having to shuffle. Neat. I like almost all of these. I think that I can get rid of the Underground Sea and the Chrome Mox. My goal here is to eventually Galvanic Relay, but I'm not quite ready to do all of that. Yeah, so I think that I'll just pass the turn, fetch, grab a Bayou, or an Underground Sea. I don't know which one. You know, I could always draw the Underground Sea if that's something that I want anyway. If I'm going to take a little bit longer, what I can do is just draw the Underground Sea, which is what I put on top. Also, hi, Dominique. Welcome to the chat. And I I have to worry about one less thing for my brainstorm. They missed a land drop. They've got 5 spells in there. Yeah, I'm okay with that. So now I'll shuffle and I'll get a Bayou. And then cast a Brainstorm. Okay, now I can safely put these back. And all I need now is a little bit of protection. And against a blue-black opponent, it is, you know, a lot safer to go in with some protection, you know? So, with that, cheers. By the way, this is glass. This isn't plastic. I don't know. Somebody says like, "Oh my gosh, you're drinking wine out of a plastic wine glass." No, these are hand blown. It's okay. It does kind of look like plastic with like the opaque bottom. I get it. Alrighty, here we go. Taking some 3-point chunks that essentially allow us plenty of time. Oh, they hit a land. Sort of, a tapped land of a sort. And then in my upkeep, I will fetch. And I'll get an Underground Sea, Mox Opal. Okay, so let's do this. Let's just cast the Burning Wish right now. Make it as unassuming as possible. If they counter it, then okay, fine. If they daze it, then I'll pay. And they don't. So I'm going to get this Galvanic Relay. And what I'm going to do is try to get them to counter... What do I want them to counter? Probably the Lotus Petal. Yeah, let's see if they can counter the Lotus Petal. So I'm going to play out the Mox Opal, which is poor sequencing. Oh, they're going to counter that. Okay, interesting. That's also fair. Had it anyway. I was expecting them to have waited and then countered the thing that gave me Metalcraft, but they actually just countered the first thing that I put on the stack, so we're all good. Do they have a Fluster? No, Troll. Okay. And we see a Thoughtseize, a Veil of Summer, a Lion's Eye Diamond, Beseech the Mirror, Thoughtseize, and a Beseech the Mirror. Pretty okay. They fell for the trap. They did indeed. 3 goals saved today? Oh my gosh. Okay. Had to take the last one to the face. How's your nose? That does not sound like a particularly enjoyable way to end a match, but heck yeah, that's rocking out. And yes, normal the band, Galvanic Relay is amazing. I was able to, and now Burning Wish and Galvanic Relay work perfectly well together. But Galvanic Relay is just something that I can convert a hand that they've been missing land drops. They've got who knows how many counter spells that are actually just in their hand right now. And I was able to convert a hand that couldn't beat counter spells to a hand that now has a triple protected win. Like, yeah, I'm okay with that. Maybe not triple protected, because I need... okay, now it's triple protected. So I can... but they only have 2 cards in hand, so it doesn't even matter. I can, like, Thoughtseize, Veil, and then still have 4 mana up to Beseech the Mirror, but it doesn't matter. I did turn one of their counters into a card. This is just Coming up, TES, Cast with Bargain. I don't need to hold priority or anything like that because my Lion's Eye Diamonds will be gone. So I can just Gaea's Will and cast the Will. Where there's a will, there's a way, and my way is the one that's going to win the game. So here we go, sack for black, and then, you know what, I'll do this correctly, I suppose. And there's the Tendrils. Fantastic. Alrighty. You know, Newton, I've had some bad luck with Galvanic Relay. I actually have a picture of my Eternal Weekend Galvanic Relay, and it's the worst one I've ever done. It was really, really bad. It flipped over half of the lands that were just in my deck. I flipped 7 lands in 11 cards. It's pretty brutal. No, 10 cards. Random game actions. Yes, I can click and just, it's going to work out in my favor at that point, which is just really nice to see. Nose is all right, a bit swollen, but nothing on ice pack and extra strength Tylenol won't help. Yeah, we love some Tylenol in this house. I'm more of an ibuprofen guy, which is, I guess, what was that, Advil? I don't know, ibuprofen. But we love Tylenol too. The other day you had to do 3 Galvanics in 3 turns in a row. And that's pretty fun. Just kind of rolling all of the Galvanic Relays into each other is just a surefire way to convert a hand into just overwhelming advantage. Really love that. And Oliver, yeah, ESG into Veil of Summer confirmed for sure. This hand is a mulligan, and this hand is a keep. I'm going to keep this. I'm actually going to bottom land. Yeah, and it's going to be the Misty Rainforest. Is that right? No. It's going to be Underground Sea, and I'll fetch it out. You can identify with that, like those 2 games. You see 9 of the 12. Yeah, absolutely. It is a tough space to be like picking all of that up. Wow. Okay, so this is 5 mana. I could Burning Wish to get a Galvanic Relay, but I would rather not run into all of their counter magic they're going to have for me. So if I can find an extra mana and a Veil, there's the extra mana, and a Ponder is pretty good. Okay. Let's do that. Neat. All right. I'm feeling pretty okay with this. This is a cycle troll. Yep. And let's see if they reanimate it. I don't know. If they reanimate it, I'm Dothy Voidwalker. Okay, that is fine. So I've got a Beseech the Mirror on top of my deck, and what I can do is I could ponder into that Beseech and see what's happening, or 5 cards in hand, no discard to speak of, although they haven't had necessarily the best thing. Yeah, it is song time, if that's where we're going. And what I could do is Burning Wish into a Thoughtseize without shuffling my deck, and then I can Thoughtseize Song of Creation next turn, and then cast a Lotus Petal. That's kind of iffy. I'm just going to cast the Ponder. Okay. That's pretty good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put Brainstorm on the bottom, and then Galvanic Relay and Beseech the Mirror. and I'm not going to shuffle. And this way, they're incentivized to take one of my tutors and presumably leave me with the other that they think that they can counter, and then I'm going to draw the Galvanic Relay. And yeah, we're going to just go to town. They're not missing land drops now. Okay. Draw the Galvanic Relay. I am going to cast a Lotus Petal. Cast a Lotus Petal. Cast a Mox Opal. Thinking about that one for a second. Okay. And we'll get a Taiga and another Lotus Petal. And what I can do actually, and what I'm going to do here is Burning Wish and then Galvanic Relay. We are going, status going, trajectory gone. Hydroblast, thank you for the storm. Seven cards. Let's see what they are. Misty Rainforest, Dark Ritual, Beseech the Mirror, another Dark Ritual, a Ponder, a Thoughtseize, ding ding, and another Beseech the Mirror. Okay. Neat. Newton, you accomplished a goal of your legacy games. You did a melt with Titania on a legacy game. 2-2. Okay. Meld? Oh, melded. That's pretty dope. That is not something that I have ever done before. That is pretty neat. Okay, so they had Orcish Bowmasters, which I didn't brainstorm. All 4 Underground Seas, naturally drawn, no fetch lands. They are at 20 life. Wow. And I am at 9. I feel like we can get there. They have 3 cards in hand, which could be Force Pitch and then a hard cast Force of Negation, or maybe they have Flusterstorm somewhere in the mix. They had the Hydroblast, which was interesting. We are stuck in Declare Attackers for reasons unknown. Okay, we have made it through combat. We are doing something. Reanimate my troll. Okay, that made my life a little bit easier, actually. Because now I think I just have a natural storm kill. Let's go with Misty. Let's just Thoughtseize them right now. Force of Will. Oh, they don't have anything. Oh, the poor soul. Okay. They are in fact deceased. They just never had another blue card. That does kind of stink. Let's see, what's better? Probably Ponder here. Or actually, yeah, probably Ponder here. Okay, now I can get a Lion's Eye Diamond, which is not anything other than I just need to increase my storm count. Yeah. Okay, you can deal me 1 point of damage. And then this is just, are all of my Beseeches gone, or is there 1 Beseech left in the deck? Okay, 5. 6. And this is actually just lethal already. I don't need to sack the Lion's Eye Diamond. Okay. Love to see it. Very clean win against Dimir Scam. Something that, admittedly, we are designed to prey on. So yeah, they could have considered using the Voidwalker, but since they didn't have anything in hand, I think that trying to win the game likely put them in a better spot. But you know, I don't know. I don't know for sure. But we'll take the W, and we're already queued up for another one. Okay. Mononofu. Fun name. I recognized them, but I couldn't tell you why. I'm gonna play first. And, I'll keep this. This seems pretty okay. I'm just gonna Thoughtseize on turn 1. I really don't remember why I remember their username, but oh well. Here we go. Thoughtseize them. Reanimate Troll of Khazad-dûm, Murktide Regent, Whale of the Forgotten. Descend 8. Choose 1. If there are 8 or more permanent cards in your graveyard as you cast this spell, choose 1 or more instead. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Target opponent discards a card. Look at the top 3 cards of your library, put 1 of them into your hand and the rest in your graveyard. Interesting. Okay. Well, I'll take the Reanimate. And our opponent is left with a moderately anemic clock. Whale of the Forgotten is the name of the card. Stryfo Staple. Interesting. I mean, it's a modal spell, so I'm not surprised that he is appreciating that card. Okay. Another Beseech. That is not a card that I want. I would like to find land number 2, which I don't find. Okay. Well. I'm just going to put back the Beseeches. I'm going to draw 1 for turn, and then I'm going to shuffle the other one away with this Ponder, assuming that I don't find a land underneath it. And there's the other Underground Sea. And this is a sorcery, so if they want me to... Oh, they're looking at their top. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, Brainstorm is mean, but that's okay. We can work with that. Wasteland and Force of Negation in the bin. Probably wouldn't have done that if they knew what we were playing, but I'm okay with that. Let's just Ponder. And any order, shuffle. Oh no! Okay. I'll see you around, Jason. Have a good night. Thanks for hanging out. Okay. We have got to find land number 2. Or something. I don't know. I can relay next turn. I don't want to. That is not something that I particularly want to do. Tony played against it too. Interesting. Okay. There's the Murktide Regent. That is a large boy. It's a 5/5. We got a few turns. But not if I keep drawing like I have. That is acceptable. They have 5 cards. I know 2 of them. And then they can Mystic Sanctuary something back. I'm not sure what to do here. Like, do I echo? Probably not. Do I pass the turn? I think I might have to. Like, I just need one more mana, and I think that that is something that my deck is fairly good at delivering. Oh, yeah, I have to discard. Oops. Well, we're gonna give up the goat regardless of what we discard. Surprise, we're Storm! Now they have a 6/6. Which is a fun little combo to grow your Murktide Regent. Grief? Oh no. I wonder what that takes. Wait a second, I didn't have a win. Okay, I'm 1 mana away from a protected wheel and 1 mana away from a protected guy as well. So, yeah. It is kind of a tough decision. And they took the relay. Interesting. Oh, well, okay. That makes sense, I suppose. I don't know what they take here. I still don't know if I agree with that. Taking Veil of Summer. Okay, so they've got interaction. Thoughtseize. Okay, so this is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'll be at 1, and I can Thoughtseize them. They have they pitched the troll, so I don't know what they have. Okay, Force of Will, Ponder. Okay, I'll take the... Oh, man. Ponder lets them dig for an Orcish Bowmaster. But they can top deck a blue spell, and then if I take the Force of Will, they can draw into an Orcish Bowmaster, and I'm at 1 life. I think that I have to take the Ponder because giving them 1 look at a blue spell is better for me than giving them 4 looks at an Orcish Bowmaster. So, as wild as that seems, here you go. Here's the Force. Or a land, yeah, that also will do the same thing. Well, 1 look at the land, and blue. But yes, Mike is correct. Okay. Survey says okay. We are going to attempt to do things, I suppose. This has to be a Gaia's Will win because we can't actually cast Peer, which is wild. Okay, so Beseech, sacking Lion's Eye Diamond. Did they draw a blue card? They did. A Whale of the Forgotten. Okay. Well, they got it. They could draw a land or a blue card, like Mike said. Yeah, absolutely. The fact that they had 3 Underground Seas and Mystic Sanctuary already out of the deck, I don't know how many more. I mean, either way. Maybe the Force of Will was more correct. I don't know. Maybe that is more correct. They have so many more outs to draw than the 4 looks that they would get at specifically an Orcish Bowmaster. Yeah. 5 looks at an Orcish Bowmaster, I guess, because draw for turn and the shuffle. I don't know how you count like the shuffle as, I guess it's 4 looks, but ooh, I'll keep this. Normal, thank you. I don't know if I necessarily think that that is the right choice in hindsight, but I mean, obviously it didn't work, right? But I think that I had reasons for taking the Ponder. I forgot about the land to hardcast the Force, and I think that that might tip me over the edge. My opponent is mulliganing to 5, and I'm going to present, let's see, I could go Goblins with 5, or what I could do is Relay with Veil Protection. Relay with Veil Protection or Goblins. I think I'm gonna go with Relay. Relay for 6. That's pretty okay. And I'm not going to echo here. My opponent is on 5. Hold control. And I don't want to draw them into 2 additional cards or anything like that. And if they kept the hand off of discard or something like that, then my hand is empty. And we are presenting a win next turn. And with a backup of just like Galvanic Relay. Yeah, that's a really good relay. That was an excellent relay. Let's see what they do. Ponder. Okay. You are right. Normal, they could ponder into several things. Is Bowmaster... Oh, I mean, I was at 1. I would say that that's a pretty big problem. Yeah, I was 1 mana away from Beseech. I was 1 mana away from a protected... a lot of things. So, you know... Okay, hold control. Cast the Gaea's Will. And sack for green and red. Gaea's Will. Oh, that just resolved. What did they do? What were they keeping? Yeah, okay. Neat. We got game 2. Galvanic Relay tends to be good when playing with good cards. You are correct, Normal. Very correct. We love playing with good cards. And we're going to keep doing that. I think I'm going to send it back just as is, and we're going to hope that our good cards carry us through to victory. This is a nice clean win. Yeah, they didn't interact. I'm not quite sure what that meant their hand was, but yeah. Okay. I'll keep this hesitantly. Yeah. I might even suspend a Gaea's Will. I don't know. Oh, and they don't even hit me with discard? Fantastic. And a Ponder. Okay. Well, I am enjoying this. because Burning Wish is kind of like the way that I'm going to progress this game, not Beseech, I'm going to get the Volcanic Island on purpose this time. Okay, all good things. I'm going to put the Ponder on the bottom, and then the Burning Wish, and then the Misty Rainforest. I'm not going to shuffle, and I'm going to play out the Lion's Eye Diamond, and the Lion's Eye Diamond, and the Chrome Mox, and I'm going to imprint Beseech the Mirror. My plan is to, or maybe it needs to be a, oh, are they going to Spell Pierce this Lion's Eye Diamond? This might be a Spell Pierce on the Lion's Eye Diamond. Oh, Brainstorm. Okay. They also could be dazing this Lion's Eye Diamond. Nope. Okay. Okay. And then Chrome Mox. I want to Burning Wish for Thoughtseize. And I still have the out to get a Brainstorm and put this Gaia's Will back, so I am going to imprint the Beseech. And what I'm doing is I'm just getting rid of my hand for discard purposes. I realize that maybe I can keep the Chrome Mox in my hand and make the decision harder. Maybe that was actually better. Now that I'm thinking about that, I don't think I needed to play all of that out, but here we are. All right, here's the Burning Wish, and what I'll do is I will Burning Wish now. This actually might hit a counter. It didn't. Interesting. Okay. Well, I'm going to get a Thoughtseize, and I'm not going to Thoughtseize right away. Or should I? No, I'm not going to Thoughtseize right away. That's all fine. I am going to shuffle. I'm going to get a Bayou, and then I can Thoughtseize and still Burning Wish for an Echo, or if I get another land, then I can Peer. And we'll see what happens. Now they're obviously representing Bowmaster, so Peer would need to be something seriously considered. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay, how about a Thoughtseize to start? And I'll snap. Oh, protect it. Okay, so interesting choices here. They have Stifle. So I'm going to take this Force of Will, and then I'm going to cast an Echo of Eons. And I'll float blue and green. No, that's not really that important. I can just take 6. The Bowmaster is not going to be that big of a deal. Yeah. I'm just going to float blue and black like normal. And I don't care about taking 7, excuse me. Hello, Leonard. Welcome to chat. Thanks for hanging out this evening. How are you doing? They are going to cast a Bowmaster. Mild Shock. And we're all going to draw 7 cards. I'm going to have 3 mana floating. I have yet to make a land drop. Storm is going to be 4. Okay, so I think that this may actually end up getting there for us. Veil protects from Stifle. Never been on that situation. Veil does not protect Stifle. Stifle and Veil do not interact favorably for us. Veil protects against the Bowmaster. But now they're not actually holding up Stifle, which is great. Let's brainstorm. Neat. I think that we've got the win. One, two. One, two. Oh, this needs to be 3. So we don't actually have Beseech the Mirror like I would want. Oh, we kind of do. Wait a second. No, we don't. Is that true? Yeah, we don't actually. Is that true? No. I can do this because I can put the Brainstorm on, or the Beseech on top, and use the Mox Opal to Brainstorm again. I'll do all of this and I'll be at 1. Okay, so let's put the Beseech the Mirror and the Thoughtseize back, I suppose. And I'll take 3 from the Orcish Bowmaster, fall to 5, and then I'll Brainstorm again, fall to 1. Joe, hey Joe L, how's it going? Merry wintertime things indeed. It was really nice to meet you too. That was awesome. I ended up getting I think 10 tokens signed throughout the event, which was just A+. That is my thing that I just love getting to interact with people, and Eternal Weekend is the perfect place to do it. Okay, so they're forcing the carpet. So now what I have to do is Brainstorm, hold priority, sack the Lion's Eye Diamond for exactly what I need. Which is okay. Not to fetch. Well, I can fetch. I'll be at 1. I'll be at 1. It's fine. Oh, and they had double force anyway. Okay. Oh well. We did end up losing that. We gave ourselves quite a lot of outs. I don't know whether it was better to float green and get Veil protection from the Orcish Bowmaster. No, I don't have Beseech anymore. This was like a miracle Brainstorm situation where I needed to find another Beseech. I had shuffled it away because they countered my Carpet of Flowers, and there was no way that I could pass phases with making blue mana from the carpet to get the Beseech. So this was just luck of the draw. What are the top 3 cards? Do they win the game? Unfortunately, we never actually got to see. So unfortunate. We're 1 and 2. We still have a positive record that we're fighting for, so let's see what happens in the future. Your cousin had the nerve of scheduling their wedding on a turtle? Yeah, absolute gall of that person. How dare they? That sounds like a fun time, honestly, but maybe next year, hopefully next year, because I'll be going unless something terrible happens, and it's a lot of fun. Okay, so let's get cooking for round number 4. And speaking of Eternal Weekend, if you've watched Bryant's matches, he's using the token packs. If you want a little Christmas present for yourself, then you can think about getting the token packs from the epicstorm.com. Let me tell you about them while we wait for the next round.
Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Token Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $14.99. This combo token pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens. That includes our classic Storm and mana tokens, as well as fan favorites such as Goblins, Squirrels, and Slime Time Live. But that's not all. We've expanded this token pack to cover a variety of formats with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game.
Alrighty, and here we are in our fourth round. Akaleth, an anti-combo streamer. They play Death and Taxes almost exclusively, and they are likely streaming right now. I think that they stream on Thursdays. This is so close. I'm going to keep this, and I just need red mana. There are several lands that get me there. There are 4 Lotus Petals, 2 Mox Opals, excuse me. I am gonna keep this. And we still have Veil protection if they're running the Thoughtseizes. I did leave D&T out accidentally. Now, if you want to donate for me to play D&T, then yeah, sure, whatever. But on the poll, I guess if you can find out a way to make D&T a combo deck and Alurin doesn't count, then yeah, sure. I would love to see that. I don't know if this is 80 card D&T plays Thoughtseizes. They're likely playing Orzhov, right? I just don't know. Oh, that's my favorite planes. I have 15 or 16 of those bad boys. So fun. I used to play Death and Taxes. Okay. Well, that's not ideal. We had a fantastic line rolled up where we could just make a ton of goblins and scoff at anything that they threw at us, but Joe is correct. Please don't make me dance like that. Oh no. Okay. Well, this is a tough one. And I don't know what they're doing. They didn't have a 2-mana bear. Does that mean that they have a 3-mana bear? Or not? What is going on? Okay. Interesting. Instead of making a mana with a Chromox and trying to float green to cast Appear into the Abyss, what I'm going to do is just cast the Veil of Summer now and play around it. And we are likely going to be able to peer. Okay. I feel better about this now. I am moderately confused as to what their hand is, but I can find that out. Oh, okay. And they thankfully F6'd so I could get a look at their hand. But kind of a tough start for them, I guess, against Storm. So let's move to sideboard. And we've got several things that are going to be brought in. You know, I have a sideboard guide. I can actually look at the sideboard guide. Oops. You also can get a sideboard guide by supporting us on Patreon. Or actually, anywhere, I think. Member section gets it of the Discord. Okay. We're going to sideboard like that. 3 Veil of Summer, 3 Galvanic Relay. We'll leave 1 Veil of Summer in for our kind of peer into the abyss, floating a green situation where they've Orcish Bowmaster us and then we can Veil if it's in the top 50. So, yeah. The alternative is to bring in Consign to Oblivion instead of the 4th Veil. That's kind of just up to you. You are right, Newton. It was up here if we got red mana. I just now saw that. I was a little bit behind. I wish we played against Beans. This deck rips Beans a new one. I don't know what it is. We're not getting it. Which is fine, I suppose. This is not great. I think I need to mulligan this hand. This is okay. I will keep this hand. Yeah. This is a turn 1 Echo of Eons if they don't present a turn 1 hate permanent. We'll see what happens. I am going to hedge a bit, bottoming the Beseech and getting my land drops under me if they do end up getting a hate permanent on the battlefield. Oh no! They mulligan to 6. Oh. Cabal Therapy. What are they going to name? Dark Ritual. Don't have one of those. Cabal Therapy. Interesting. Well, we're gonna echo. Mostly because 10 goblins wasn't gonna do enough. I am curious about the Cabal Therapy. I wasn't really expecting that. Okay, so this is not gonna do it, but we have the potential of playing a Song of Creation out next turn. I don't know. Maybe Cabal Therapy works better with Orcish Bowmaster. Akaleth does tend to kind of brew in the space. Oh yeah, this is Abzan. Gaddock gross. Okay. They tend to brew in the space sometimes, so this could be something that they're testing out. But like Abzan Death and Taxes was not something that I was expecting tonight. And Caracas to protect. Okay. No more Song of Creation for now. Mother of Runes. Yikes. Okay. we've got to go now. It's not gonna do it. This is gonna get tough. We do not have a massacre in the sideboard, so we technically can get there. It's just gonna be tough. We need to end step Abrupt Decay, or not Abrupt Decay, Echoing Truth, Mother of Runes, untap, and then destroy the Teague. It's going to be interesting. What are the ways that you pronounce it? Cable therapy? Cabal ritual? I don't know. It's really, really tough to figure out pronunciations over text. So you can ignore that question, or you can try. I don't know. Ugh, okay, so they got a Thalia, and we're deceased. We cannot beat that board state. So we're going to try again with a playset of Thoughtseize on the play. Okay, so Cabal or Cabal? Cabal. Interesting. I don't know. I'm not going to keep this hand, by the way. Probably not going to keep this one either. It's pretty all in on a brainstorm, and I don't think that I can do that. You're going to keep this one, Nick? Maybe it's okay. I don't know how much time I can give my opponent. No, you would have kept the first one with just like blue source is my Chrome Mox imprint a brainstorm or something like that. Okay, Cabal therapy. Okay. Interesting. Second one was a mull. Yeah, I would agree, Nick. Okay, glad we're on the same page. This one is the best hand we've seen so far, I think. I can bottom both Chrome Moxen and disrupt appropriately. I hope. What do we see here? Thoughtseize, Stoneforge Mystic, Recruiter of the Guard, Wasteland. Okay. Well, I have to take the Thoughtseize, otherwise I'm a sitting duck, and they are disincentivized to wasteland me until the third turn. Otherwise, they're playing off as well. And they might not even want to wasteland me. I don't know. Maybe they just wasteland me now, thinking about, getting me out, and then they can play their game plan as normal. Yeah, okay. I can see that. Ponder would be great right now. Another land is not bad either. I had Metalcraft. Oh, you know what? Maybe I did have Metalcraft, Nick. I should have paid attention to that. Oops. So there's the plains. Oh, they drew a mom. Okay, well, that was good for them. I'm going to get the other Underground Sea. And that's why. Okay, put back those two cards that I do not want. And that was not a particularly good brainstorm. But we can shuffle it, so we'll see. Attacking with Mother of Runes. Okay. I mean, they're not going to protect a Stoneforge Mystic, I guess. Mm-hmm. And this is a Cauldra. Okay. Yeah, the one-ofs for sure. Two of them, actually three of them, I suppose. Volcanic Island is also a one-of. Oh, okay. Things are getting better. I'm still not going to, like, throw my Burning Wish away for something. Because maybe I draw a Lion's Eye Diamond and I would rather Echo than use the Lion's Eye Diamond as fodder for bargain. I don't know. Brainstorm, LED, Chromax, Ponder, Opal, Beseech you. Oh, well, you know, maybe I should have just kept that one. Seems pretty good. Recruiter of the Guard instead of the Cauldra. Okay, so now they're going to get a Thalia or a Teague. Yeah. Okay. So what I can do, if I draw another mana, I can get a Lion's Eye Diamond and Echo. But I would rather just, like, draw the Lion's Eye Diamond. Okay, well, like I said, so this is 4. Yeah, we can do everything that we want. It's just kind of unfortunate that I have to do it in such a mana-intensive way. So, Beseech, Diabolic Intent, Wish for Seas. Hello, Bryant, by the way. Underground Seas. Absolutely. Okay, so I can Thoughtseize them. And then see what we're cooking with next turn. That goes not bad, because that... Okay, well... They don't have a way to instant speed put in the Lauren, but the Lauren gets rid of my Chrome Mox, which is my bargainable permanent, so that I could get a Song of Creation out. So I think that I have to take the Loran, and then they just have a Surgical Extraction, which is fine. And then I can Beseech, bargain away the Chrome Mox, cast... Oh, I can't cast the Thoughtseize. I don't have enough black mana. I think I still have to take the Loran. Like, my bargainable permanent is a little important here. Okay. Their hand was not good. It wasn't bad necessarily, right? The Surgical and the Loran are cards with text in the matchup. And 80 cards that are, well, I guess they have 3 colors, but base mono white. You don't get a lot of cards with text in the Storm matchup. Fine. It's an interesting pick right then and there. They could have... what am I drinking? I am drinking box wine out of a really nice wine glass for no reason. That's okay. I'm going to be... Cabal Therapy. That makes sense then. Okay. Beseech the Mirror is the pick here, probably. And then they get the Burning Wish on the back end as well. That was a really good draw for them. It was a really good draw. They can sack the Recruiter. They can still put in Batterskull. Yeah. Okay. That was pretty tough. I mean, they can still Flicker Wisp. I would put in the Batterskull and leave me dead on board. Beseech off the top doesn't even do it. I need a Brainstorm. Yeah, Chateau the cardboard. What are we doing here? Flicker Wisp. I will imprint Gaea's Will here. Oh, Flicker Wisp. Sure. The Recruiter gets Gaddock. Fine. Okay. We did lose to Abzan Death and Taxes, which was an interesting one. Still rocking the Yorion. Pretty cool build. Mana is interesting. I don't know how. I mean, everything casts all of your white spells, so like it's probably just fine. But you're probably not playing things like Rashad and Port. You're probably only playing the 4 of Wasteland, so that might actually work out nicely. I don't know. It certainly had our cooked our goose, I suppose. So let's queue up for the last round of the league, and I told you about our tokens. I told you about everything except let me tell you about our Patreon. So if you like the written content about the Epic Storm, I write a monthly article series. Oliver in chat writes a monthly article series. Bryant, who is also in chat, writes a monthly article series. And our Patreon goes to directly support all of the site writers. Plus you get sideboard guides for the Epic Storm, which is really cool. So let me tell you about that while we queue up for our last round.
Want early access to articles at theepicstorm.com? Become a member of our Patreon to get articles 7 days early, on top of other sweet benefits, and help us pay our website team. You can sign up at patreon.com/theepicstorm.
Alrighty, so as soon as I click that button, we got paired in. So we won the die roll. Let's check it out. And I will keep this hand. Yeah, absolutely. Keep this hand, and I'll lead on, I guess it doesn't really matter. I don't have green or blue spells in my hand, but I'll lead in on a Bayou. Like if I get wastelanded, I would rather have the ability to cantrip than cast a Veil of Summer. Prismatic Vista. Okay. It's Thought Lash. Oh, okay. Interesting. Last deck played was a 5-0 on Lash on the 10th. Thank you for Googling my opponent, Oliver. I appreciate that. And because of that, I probably want to wait. Well, they only play 4 forces, right? Yeah, why not just jam now? They only play the 4. 4 main, 2 side, sure. Yeah, I actually recently trophied with Thought Lash, which was wild. Which was an interesting time. It doesn't really matter. I'm not going to get Metalcraft. Ooh, counter the Lion's Eye Diamond, please. What are we doing here? Brainstorm. Okay, okay. Counter the Lion's Eye Diamond. Nope. Okay. I wish I could just convert to a relay right now, but I'm just Metalcraft short here. Hold control. Here's the Gaea's Will. Cast. Sack. Do they have it? Nope. Okay. Cool. There's the Lion's Eye Diamond. I can sack this for red. Cast the Dark Ritual. Cast the Mox Opal. Cool. There we go. Game 1 against supposedly Thoughtlash. Now, Oliver could be yanking my chain here, and who knows what's over there, but I'll go with Thoughtlash. I'll trust you. Do we even have a sideboard for them? Show and Tell package with Emrakul and Archon. That is a wild monocolor deck. Okay, well, I would like the Thoughtseizes. And I don't think that I want anything else. So I think it's just going to be Chrome Mox and Mox Opal out for a pair of Thoughtseize. I think that the Galvanic Relay package is good. I think that the Veil of Summer package is really good. You can argue that maybe like taking out the Ponders is fine, but they have a Null Rod. A Null Rod? Just a single Null Rod? Disrespect it. I'm not going to care about a single Null Rod. Null Rod has, in fact, gotten a little bit worse. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. Where's my one of, gang? Drawing the one ofs. I think I cannot keep this. Nope. Oh my gosh. Okay. I will go to 4. Sure. I will keep this. I will keep this, and I will put back Burning Wish. Dark Ritual, Chrome Mox. Okay, so hold up. Now I actually have to make a choice. Do I play into Galvanic Relay that's in my hand, or do I play into the Dark Ritual Burning Wish that's in my hand? Because I can get rid of Chrome Mox, Relay, Chrome Mox, and I'm left with Wish Ritual, which is good. Or I could get rid of Mox, Wish, Ritual, and play to the Relay. But with like the low resources, the Chrome Mox, and just being like 0 mana artifacts that hit the board, I think I'm going to play to the Burning Wish. I think that makes sense to me. And then Oliver agrees with me, so that's great. I think. I don't know. We're talking about a Karn Forge player over here. Storm deck with Karn in it. Yuck. Alright, clearly I should have bottomed one of the lands. Obviously. Ponder is nice. I'm gonna fetch before I ponder. All right, those are Magic the Gathering cards. I will keep these, and I'm just looking for some protection. We have 8 pieces of protection, and I'll take a draw and not get one of them, but that's fine. And then I can just play a land and pass, and then shuffle, and we're off to the races, hopefully. So they brainstorm shuffled. They've got black mana. Narset. Okay. So this Burning Wish has Galvanic Relay written all over it instead of the other 2 Burning Wish targets in the sideboard that, oh, and they have a Force of Will, that are Echo of Eons and Peer into the Abyss. Okay. So probably not gonna do anything now. I'm guessing that they have one piece of interaction at least in their hand that's unknown. And then we also know about a Force of Will. They have 7 cards in hand. Gross. What I would love is to draw Song of Creation, and then they just show and tell when I have Song in hand, and I can put in Song of Creation, untap, and win the game. That is a fun sequence against show and tell players that, in my opinion, is a little bit better than putting in a Wishclaw Talisman, which was our equivalent earlier in the metagame, maybe a year ago. Less than that now. Okay, so I actually think that I want another red source here so that I can Burning Wish into Relay if I end up going that route. Well, okay. How about I just cast a Burning Wish now? What am I getting? If it resolves, I get the Relay. And I'll represent something like a Veil of Summer so that it gives them a little bit of a pause. And if it doesn't resolve, okay. The only thing that I would be concerned about at that point is Surgical Extraction. But if they cast a Force of Negation, then I don't care about Surgical Extraction at all. Or at least significantly less than if it was Force of Will. Ponder from our opponent. So is this just the Joe L Omnitel deck from, I don't know, from our opponent? Not with Narset? Okay. Thank you. I knew that you were, I knew there was a likelihood that you were still in here. I was like, I don't know, is this something y'all are doing? Okay. That sucks. Not great, guys. We've got time, I guess. I don't know what our opponent is necessarily doing. Orcish Bowmaster? Okay, well, I'm not drawing more cards, so a little bit of a non-bow there, but I guess there's now probably 6 ways or so. Oh, that's really annoying. Okay, so I thought about it for a second. I figured the risk was not worth it of brainstorming to hide my Burning Wish, because it's just not going to be a great idea. That makes sense, Joe. No reason to try to protect something that you can't protect. All right. Well, now I can stop pretending like I have a Veil of Summer and actually just F6 through this. We'll see what happens. We've got 6 turns to figure it out. And they have a known Force of Will and 7 cards in hand. Null Rod. There's that Null Rod, Oliver. Okay. Good thing I don't have any artifacts that I care about. Like, actually none. I will play this out, and I'll fetch the last fetchable. I don't think that I need to brainstorm fetch or anything like that, so yeah. You know, I would even not say no to a ponder because it will let me kind of plan ahead, or just get rid of and shuffle a deck that isn't gonna pay out. But obviously just a mess of Veil of Summers in a row would be ideal. Okay, they have named Orc with the Cavern of Souls. Mm-hmm. Day's Undoing. Well, we are likely not winning, but I will allow this to resolve. We get a ponder. Well, I did say I wasn't going to say no to it, and here's a stupid ponder in my hand. Okay. So, I'm not going to take any damage from this, so I think I'm okay. Just, oh, hello. What does this do for me? This relays in 3 turns, and then I can get it on the 4th turn, and technically I'm still alive by then. Sure. So we were prevented from drawing a card from Narset, so we didn't take damage from the Orcish Bowmaster, and our clock is still the same, and we can relay and see what happens. I don't know if it resolves. I think that's the best thing we got going on. Okay, here we go. Just past the turn. If this is a Bowmaster, I will concede. That also qualifies. Okay. I think I'm okay with how we sideboarded. I don't think that I want Beseech Ooze. I might want the Carpet of Flowers. Okay, what if I do just board like this as a control deck? Like that. Beseech Ooze, Carpet. Sure. Why not? Okay. I will keep this hand. I think that this has a really nice, clear game plan, if it wasn't obvious. And then the goal is see what this relay gives me on turn 2. A Thoughtseize would be a little annoying. Yeah, I'm not gonna try to brainstorm or anything like that. I have brainstorm fetch next turn, and that's just fine. So, likely taking the Galvanic Relay here. I think that that's probably the best bet. Oh. They took the Brainstorm, which is the imprintable for the Chrome Mox. Okay. Sure. Do they counter a Chrome Mox? Nope. Yeah, we love a Thoughtseize bug, Nick. Absolutely. I don't know if our opponent was thinking, oh, I totally got them. Or there's another plan in mind here, like getting me to commit the relay into, I don't know, something. But I mean, those 4 cards were pretty okay. The Chrome Mox wasn't necessary, but Ponder Burning Wish Dark Ritual, not bad. And if they have 1 Null Rod, then I think that I am totally fine with this. If they have the Null Rod, fantastic. They have the Null Rod. Congratulations. Doesn't look like they do. They might have a hard cast Force of Negation. Okay. Guess who cares? Not me. Bowmaster? Hull Breacher. Okay. Go any order on this one. Doesn't really matter. They're getting a treasure, and I don't want to draw those if this turn doesn't end up working out for me. Let's go with a Veil of Summer. They're going to make another treasure. If they let this resolve. They have 4 cards in hand and 1 mana available. I can pretty much ignore a Flusterstorm. I can ignore any interaction they've got on this. And then just hope that they don't have another one. Because if they do, that would be kind of annoying. And what is this going to do? 6, 7, 8? I mean, this is Lethal Storm. Smoke them if you got... Oh, it's not lethal. Oh, it is Lethal Storm. Okay, sorry. I looked before the storm count actually ticked up. Now, you could be convinced that, like, oh, they've got a stifle here or something like that. But nope, they gave me the exact right amount of storm, and we got there. Fantastic. I was going to go with an Empty the Warrens if that didn't happen. So, okay, it wasn't a fantastic showing, but that was a really good end of the league, that's for sure. So we won against blue-black Hull Day, Narset Hull Breacher Days Undoing thing. Okay, so let's take a look at the deck really quick. And you know what? I don't think that I would change anything. Obviously, we didn't see 2 of the main pillars of the meta right now. Initiative. We did see Goblin Stompy, but not Initiative. And then we've got Bean Control. Now, Carpet of Flowers, Beseech you, fantastic against Bean Control. Echoing Truth, Thoughtseize, really good against Initiative. Now, we boarded in, I think, all of our actual board-inable sideboard cards. So we didn't actually waste anything, which was really, really nice. A little bit tighter play on my side, could have done a little bit better, but that's just kind of how it is. A 2-3 league is not something to go right home about, but I feel okay with the games that we won. Pretty okay. I'm comfortable with the list, but there's always room for improvement, and what I need to be working on is the next step in sequencing my spells and developing a plan and knowing when to pivot that plan. So yeah, those are the things that I got to work on, but everybody's got something. So we're going to just say solid 75, and it's the fingers that are typing on the keys that need a little bit of work, and we're just going to keep working on it. But we're going to work on it into the new year. I might be back from holiday travel on next Thursday. I will let you know. There will be a poll out if I am planning on streaming. Hopefully that will be the case. And then if not, I will wish you a happy holidays and a happy new year, and I will see you across the screen in the near future. All right? Either way, have a lovely night, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.